Hi, I'm Melissa Budzinski, and I'm from Gilda's Club, Grand Rapids. And I have with me today Sandi Osi, also from program staff at Gilda's Club. Hi, Sandi.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too. So I have the honor and privilege of working with Sandi, and together we are very honored also to be able to facilitate groups for people who are on either a grief journey or a cancer journey, or anyone connected to someone who is on a grief or a cancer journey. And it really is a privilege for us to be able to offer our community this free support program at Gilda's Club, where people can connect, get fed, and heal, and sometimes even laugh. So if you're interested, if you're new to Gilda's Club and you're interested in learning about what we're all about, you can give us a call at 453-8300 or get a hold of us on our website, www.gildasclubgr.org. And just for reference, you can see our clubhouse in back of Sandi there. That's a beautiful view of our summertime, and then I have our gardens behind me. So in case you're wondering what it looks like there, that gives you a little sneak preview. So today we have Sandi with us to talk about caregiving, what that means, challenges of caregiving, sometimes the silver linings of caregiving, and also, most importantly, how to take care of the caregiver. Yeah. So all of that she's going to bring to us. If you have questions or thoughts or comments about this, again, please just put them right in the comment section underneath this Facebook Live event, and we will return that question as soon as we can. So with that, I think I'll turn it over to you, Sandi.
All right, great, Melissa. Thank you.
All right, see you when you're done.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to share my screen with you, so hang on real quick. I'm going to follow a handout that we have as part of our program at Gilda's. So here we are. So we're going to be talking about being a caregiver, and like Melissa said, a huge part of being a caregiver is taking care of you, the caregiver, and that is really a lot of what we're talking about today. So being a caregiver for a person with cancer means that you're now part of their healthcare team. You know, and this could include things like dressing, giving medicine, keeping track of appointments, but just don't forget about all those everyday responsibilities that can add up quickly. You know, for instance, if it was your job to take out the trash, or their job, to take out the trash, then all of a sudden it comes on your plate. You have to remember, okay, the trash was out on Tuesday. So yeah, it's Monday night, so I'm going to get that ready to go. So it can be out for Tuesday morning. There's a lot of little things like that, and by themselves, they're just a tiny bit, but they add up very quickly over time. So don't forget that. It's important as a caregiver, you know, to let the person with cancer make decisions. But it's also important that if you see that they're making poor decisions, that it's okay to talk with them about it. You may want to be in control. You may want to call the shots because you do see that they may be making not the best choices, but we do need to give up some of our control in that and do our best to communicate and to listen and talk with each other. It's important to make room for what you have to say, your thoughts as well. You may need to set limits by having patients care for themselves as much as they can. You know, you might be one of those people who like to take over. You're the super duper caregiver, you know, and that's great, except it's important that they stay involved. You know, you may want to help them dress, but letting them do it until they ask for help is better. You want to involve them as much as possible so that they know that they're doing their part and they're not a burden to you. Help them lead as normal of a life as they can, but also help them share their feelings in the process. And it's important for you to share your feelings in that process as well. Because remember, the more that they can do for themselves, the more that they stay active, it's healthier for them, and it's better for you in the long run. Also, it's normal to feel stressed when caring for someone with cancer. Expressing feelings of fear or uncertainty, with a friend or a counselor may help you deal with some of these feelings and help you let them go. Help you not build those up. And a support group too can be an excellent place to share with others who understand a lot of what you're experiencing. And that's one thing that we have with Gilda's Club that we're doing through Zoom meetings right now. We have a group called Family and Friends. And in that group, people just have a lot of chance to just share the stresses that they're experiencing, and they do a lot of laughing together too. When you have that commonality, it's really bonding. So it's important to make room for your feelings. And maybe you don't have necessarily a person that you're really confiding in right now, but take a look at the people in your life and maybe you could say, hey, I need someone to vent to, and I don't really need advice. I don't need you to solve anything for me. I just need someone who I can talk to. And you may need to reassure them, just because I'm sharing this with you doesn't mean I feel like this all the time. So you don't need to worry about me. Maybe just want to let them know how important it is. And one thing that can be helpful when you're in stressful situations, you may forget who those people are. So sometimes even writing out a list of people, places that you can get support, just having that ready to go. It's also important to remember your own needs and to take care of them. Seeing friends, exercising, spiritual support, hobbies, talking to others. The more you can keep these normal activities going, the better. Maybe it's an exercise class that you've been taking, and if you can keep that going, that would be really good. If you can start that as soon as possible, maybe there's a stressful time in your caregiving and then it settles down a bit, you can have someone come in and help so that you can take care of yourself in that way. Maybe someone can support you by just taking a walk with you or holding you accountable and saying, hey, what did you do for yourself today? So those are things. And that leads into the next point of, don't try to do it all by yourself. Often family, friends, and neighbors want to help, but they don't necessarily know what you need or what they can do. So you could make a list of what you need that they can help you with. And also you can ask them, what are things that you might like? Maybe you've thought of things you can say that I didn't think of that may be helpful. So really include them as part of your team as much as you can. And recognize too that adding more people in your life is stressful too. Before all this happened, you lived your life, you did your thing, and you saw people when you wanted to, but now more and more people are coming towards you. So you may have to set limits in that way too, and acknowledge and appreciate them. So it's quite a balance of how to have people involved in your life and helping and help them feel needed, and at the same time meet your needs by having the space that you need. Many caregivers will feel like they've failed in some way at some point in the caregiving process, and try as much as possible not to put all the blame on yourself. You'll find ways to forgive yourself and move on. You will probably make more mistakes. Yeah, you're probably a human like most of us, but it's okay to find humor in them, and do focus on the things you do well. And every day you are doing things well. And it's normal to feel trapped, overwhelmed, or want to give up sometimes. Everybody feels that way. And so just say, hey, I was told I was going to feel this way, and I'm feeling this way. So just embrace it as much as you can, and embrace you in whatever you're able to do. Let's see, I need to get to our next page here. So being a caregiver is a demanding role, but it can also give you a sense of pride and meaning. Keeping positive feelings can help give you the strength to continue in this role. And that's what we're talking about here. How do I keep those positive feelings? And the more you do these things to take care of yourself while taking care of your person, the more that you're going to be able to stay in that space. Having good communication is really important in this caregiving process. It allows you to express yourself, helps others understand your limits and needs, and understand the limits and needs of the person that is diagnosed with the cancer. Try using I statements rather than you, saying, I need a break, rather than you really tire me out. Well, maybe you wouldn't say that, but I may not think of good examples right now. But if you're anything like me, you may be really good at making an I statement sound like a you statement. So you may need to practice a little bit. And even with the person that you are caring for, if you feel like you've just said something, you're like, okay, can I do that over? Let me try saying that in a different way. Or give them the opportunity to say something in a different way. Like, could you say that in a different way, like without that attitude? So being playful and just recognizing that this is a learning process for both of you is helpful. And of course, remember that we all communicate in different ways. I'm still surprised at how when I thought something was very clear, the other person just didn't get it, or vice versa, So it's important to recognize on a continual basis, we all communicate different. And so we may need to change the way we communicate so that the other person will understand. Another thing is going to doctor appointments will help you learn more and allow you to discuss things with the doctor. I'm going to start that over. Going to doctor's appointments may help you learn more and allow you to discuss things with the doctor the patient may have forgotten about. So if at all possible, you want to go to appointments together. If that's not possible, you can be on the phone with speaker on. You can record the conversation with the doctor. Sometimes if the relationship is tense or maybe not as trusting, perhaps another person can go with the person with cancer, and then you can communicate with them afterwards or before to just help be on the same page. And then you could make a list together before you go and say, what are some things we can talk about or that we want to bring up with the doctor? And if you make that list together, that could be really helpful on helping you be on the same page. Come in as a team. Many emotions can be linked to being a caregiver. Fear, hopelessness, guilt, confusion, doubt, anger, sadness, and helplessness. These all can affect your physical and emotional health, your mental health. So it's important to communicate them and know that these emotions are okay. Even if it doesn't feel okay, and a lot of times it does not feel okay, we often have high expectations of ourselves, and And we need to let some of those go and just say, this is how it is. This is how I feel. I can't change this in the moment. And so just have a lot of grace for yourself there. It may be hard to be in this state of not knowing. In fact, it probably all the time is hard to be in that state of not knowing. Things can change at any time for better or worse. There's no way to predict how or if a treatment will work and what side effects might be down the road. I think sometimes this is the most difficult and stressful part of a cancer experience. So it just is, and it's really hard. So just acknowledge that and know that that is. I guess I'm pausing so much here because it's big. So control what you can. Some people feel like that putting their lives in order and keeping a normal routine are really helpful as much as you can with this disrupted life that you're living in. And maybe it's a new routine. One thing I've heard people talk about, use the whole thing about making your bed and a good start to your day. And someone said recently that, I think their mom or their grandma or somebody said, make your bed when you get up in the morning. So right away you have accomplished something. And even if the rest of the day you accomplish nothing but getting to bed again in one piece, still you can look at that bed and say, hey, look, I accomplished something today. So it's there when you get up and it's there when you go back to bed. So yeah, it's something. And don't personalize things as much as possible. If your person has a good day, try not to make it a proof of your good caregiving skills, so that also if your person's having a bad day, it also isn't necessarily a reflection of your caregiving skills, that somehow you failed as a caregiver. It's not all up to us. We do our best. And then we just live with however that pans out for the day. So remember as a caregiver that you have an influence, you do, both positive and negative, on how the cancer patient will deal with their illness. And your encouragement can help a patient deal with a difficult treatment, to stick with it. And when it's all said and done, everything that you do to take care of yourself will help you achieve this. Everything that you do to value who you are will help you be the best support person that you can be. And so that's what I have for you today. So I welcome Melissa back, and we can All right, I'll stop sharing my screen here a minute.
Great. Oh, that was a great presentation. Very, very important. And I loved the pause in really giving yourself some grace and taking good care of yourself and understanding how big this job really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, really important. So thank you so much for bringing that to us and beginning that discussion, for our members and public who are listening.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I found myself getting a little nervous in that presentation, so I hope you have a little grace with me too.
Great.
Yeah, but I just can't commend you enough for just doing as much as you can when you're caring for somebody. This applies on so many different levels, but it's a tough role.
It is. And it's a really good role to get support, like we have offered at Gilda's Club. We have lots of groups that are called friends and family groups that support the person who is walking with someone who has a cancer diagnosis specifically. And it's a place safe, emotionally safe, confidential space where you could talk about all of those things in a way with no worries about someone else finding out, with no judgment and lots of support. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Sandi.
Yep.
So again, if anyone is interested in Gilda's Club, you can get a hold of us at 453-8300 or on our website, www.org, or excuse me, gildasclubgr.org. And if you have a comment or a thought or a question about this specific presentation, just again, put that in the comment section and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So we hope that you're all staying safe and well, and that your social distancing and sometimes quarantining is going well. And we hope to see you again, either virtually or in some future time back at the clubhouse. So I think that's all. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Sandi. Thank you again.
Yep.